Hello there everyone, and good morning. Today we are going over this. Yes, so this is the NF Strike Chrono barrel attachment. This is usable with one of their other products, which hopefully we will be reviewing soon. But I wanted to go ahead and get this Chrono barrel first because you know how much dart testing we do. At this point, you would have seen the Maryland Mayhem mess and how annoying it was to get a shot through on that chronograph. So that will be a problem for another time, but this will let us do a little bit better. So yes, this is, in air quotes, a Chrono barrel, just like the one from Hasbro themselves. So feet per second is going to be all the way down on the bottom left. 15 out of 15. This is also a freaking ammo counter set up for 15 round Talon magazines. Now, that is not a customizable option, only for Talon magazines at 15 rounds. I have tried to change that. I cannot find a setting, and there is no instructions that come with this, so it's just been me figuring it out on my own on how to actually change that. Now, this has a USB-C recharging port and comes with its own USB-C charging cable. That does make it easy to keep it charged. It lights up red while charging and goes off once the charging cycle is complete. So this does cycle between FPS. You can see my finger moving is at that was at 1.25 feet per second. Reset. Yes. So this has a swiveling motion. So mounted on the blaster in such form, it will be pointing straight up and down. Now, for some blasters, that's okay. You can be able to look over them while you're firing, but sometimes in longer blasters, that would not be usable because I use the Raven rail. This sight does absolutely nothing, but I cannot see this screen. The nice thing about this is grab the front here and rotate. Now, it will auto adjust its display to put it in the orientation that now I can see it. If this was set up for 15 round Talon magazines, it would not be a problem. Go ahead, ammo count all day. So to answer the question and why you would need a product like this, personally, completely personal, I like being able to switch my chronographs around on blasters while I'm testing things. So for me, that is a very, very big plus. Also, this fits so tight on certain end strike attachment points. Every strife I've put this on so far is super tight, which is a good thing because you don't want this falling off. The really nice part about this is this barrel attachment area, you can see does swivel, but it is removable. There's 2 screws on this side and 2 screws on this side, and you would be able to pop this off and essentially put this on another piece of barrel material if you wanted to hard mount this to a non-end strike attach muzzle blaster. And also, for example, on this Recon, you'll see this moves around a lot. It's not as tight. There are 4 set screws. One here, one here, one here, and one here. You can go ahead and tighten those down and it will clamp on the barrel attachment so it does not go anywhere. For example, you'll see super wiggly and loose. Line her up straight, take your Allen key, give that a good crank. One there. One here. Now you will see no wiggle in that at all. So now, when I go ahead and change the rotation angle, the whole assembly does not rotate. And that is just as simple as taking same said Allen key. If you did not want this to be super rotatable, if you're running it, go ahead and take your Allen key and give them a good, I'm gonna do a half turn on each side. And that will make this way tighter for you to rotate back and forth. And now it won't flop around and move on its own. And to take it off, you just do the reverse, rotate, and slide off. Now this does not leave any marks on the barrel attachment itself because we are not rotating it on the barrel attachment. I also did loosen up the ones here in the side because we are going to be setting this up on something else real quick, then give you a full firing demo. But this makes life so much easier. And if you do not want this end strike barrel attachment piece in your way, same concept, back these out. You see this is getting super wiggly. Do that on the other side. Good couple turns, and you can go ahead and slide that completely out. It is PLA, so do expect that to happen. And now you just have a way easier assembly. Say you want to slide this on something else that doesn't have an end strike barrel attachment, like a unicorn, you would now be able to put a piece of faux barrel material and get it way nice and tighter to the blaster to be able to get a better chrono reading. And okay, so now we are all loosened up. So what we're gonna do is strap this back on our Straven, do a firing demo for y'all, and yeah, go over if I like this thing or not, and pros and cons, because that's how we do reviews. Okay, so you saw our FPS went from about 110 up to 127. That is a perfect HVZ blaster, which is great, because for full lengths, that's what she was made for. Anyway, so here we go. First off, pros and cons. Pro, mobile chronograph. Gotta love that fact. Super small, slim, compact, little itty bitty screen. Again, this is compatible with another one of their products, which is a full heads-up mounted display, which is wireless and just Bluetooth to this thing, and you have 0 other pieces you need. So, in the end here, there are some cons. So, it's not orange, it's red. You could E-tape a orange barrel on this. It is bright enough of a color, but do be cautious. The only thing that I really don't like about it is not being able to change the ammo. Maybe I don't want to shoot Talons. Maybe I'm shooting full lengths and I don't have 15 round mags. I cannot do that. That's not an option, at least not with this piece alone. This is what I've done all my research on, not the actual heads-up display. I don't know if maybe that has an option to knock this down a notch. I am not so sure. But, okay, do I like it for what it is and for what it costs? Now, this itself, I do think is worth it. You do have your mobile chronograph. It is completely switchable to wherever you want to mount it. You can even mount it upside down. It will gimbal itself to know where it is, or gyro itself. Anyway, fancy words. Basically, I like being able to have a mobile chronograph. Again, like I keep saying, for my testing purposes, strap it onto the barrel. I don't have to hold a whole bunch of other stuff or line up through an actual tripod shot. Anyway, this will be very, very useful, and you will see me using this coming soon and going forward on our modifications. But, so yes, those are the pros and cons. Now, let's get to the real elephant in the room. If you do not have a hand strike barrel lug, this will be a little bit more difficult to use. You did see me demonstrate how to kind of get this chunk off. There are the 4 set screws. I'm sure would go over a piece of barrel material. I do not have one in front of me. I have this. Okay, so the internal size is enough for this car to fit through. Take that as you will. This is meant to go over barrel material. So, like, I guarantee this spot would tighten right on in because that, you know, is about the same size as that. So this should lock on to most barrel materials and be your, air quote, mobile chronograph for just about anything. Anyway, yes, do I like it? Like I said, yes, for various reasons. Pairing this with the heads-up display I think would be really cool. Mounted on top of your blaster, you have a whole little mobile assembly. I do wish these would be printed in different colors. I think an orange and maybe a white instead of a black. Let's get some brighter colors going on up in here. But as is, I do like this product. I think it is very cool. And like I said, you will see me using it in various ways. The USB-C charging does make it super versatile. You can take whatever charger you have around and whatever cube you have around and plug it in, she'll charge. It honestly took about 20 minutes right out of the box to charge it. It did turn on and function right out of the box, but I wanted to obviously put it through its testing, or my testing procedure. I shot over 200 rounds through this thing of full-length darts. Various blasters. We went Retaliator Strife, Long Shot, Straven, threw a Raven in there because we had all our Ravens down testing those before Maryland Mayhem, so we had quite a few different blasters out to give this a shot through. I will be testing it coming soon on a Rapid Strike build because there's a half dart conversion for that now. So we will most likely be doing that, but I'm curious on how well this would keep up with a full auto setup. Trigger pulling, nice and slow. It did not seem to have a problem. We'll see about full auto. Anyway, that is the review of the NF Strike Chrono Barrel Guy, Adapter, Mobile, Chronograph, Ammo Counter, Talon, thing. But anyway, you can't tell me that doesn't look really cool with that on there. That is all nice tightened down, and that would give me, a really good look at it. I can see it straight on as I'm looking down my rails, and, not all of us go full tech mode, but, it's still nice to see. I can see it. It's out of the way. 132.8, and dented my box. Now, a final spec on this piece. So again, N-Strike barrel lug, set up for talons. This can keep up with 150 meters per second. So for example, 132 FPS is 40.26 meters per second. If you want to do a unit conversion, I believe this should be able to keep up with 400 and something feet per second in my rough estimate of unit conversion that I totally did not do on my phone and then claim that I knew. Yeah, no, I totally did the unit conversion on my phone because my brain doesn't work like that. But for example, Unicorn Tactical Edition shoots over 150, easy. I do have to hold the pump grip forward. 164, no problem, and count it down. Now, again, that would be fairly easy with this. Take that assembly apart, put it on this muzzle piece, honestly probably crank it down because, that's the same size, so this piece should be working perfectly fine. Also, that is so fair, I didn't even think to put that on here. I have a B car down there. Getting ideas for future videos, maybe target practice? Maybe shenanigans? Always shenanigans. Anyway, moving on! So I'm going to stop really talking about this thing in all honesty. I really like it. Like I said, you're going to be seeing me use it. And in all honesty, y'all can't stop me because this thing is really cool. And if you want one for yourself or you just want to go ahead and check it out, I will have a link in the description box below directly to this product. Now that is a affiliate link. And yeah, it helps me and it helps you. It gives you a percentage off on said product. And helps me get traffic, because that's how that works. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. If this is a product you like, do go ahead and let me know. I am going to be hopefully getting the heads-up display for this to do another review on that product, and then obviously combine the two and see how they actually work. The Straven is going to be our workhorse for this testing procedure because, the red and the blue look so cool together. But anyway, again, you guys want to go ahead and check this out. Link in the description box below. And yeah, as always, thank you guys very much for watching. Do all the fun stuff. And peace out, bros. I have made so much of a mess on this floor with all these darts. There's like 50 over in the corner. I can count about 20 loose there. All my magazines are on the floor. There's bags of darts over there, batteries over there, barrels over here, this in my hand, which I'm going to turn off before I drop it. Turn off!